Welcome to your Ethereum News Roundup. Here's your latest for Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Solidity celebrates 10 years since launching its compiler. GMX suffers an exploit on its V1 instance. Tokenized real-world assets surpass $25 billion in TVL. And the SEC issues a statement on tokenized securities. All this and more starts right now. Solidity, the most widely used programming language for developing smart contracts on the EVM, is celebrating 10 years since the release of its high-level programming language and compiler in 2015. Solidity enables developers to write contract logic that compiles into EVM bytecode, marking the milestone. SolX, a new alternative Solidity compiler, launched its LLVM-based compiler to beta. Looking ahead, the Solidity team aims to simplify the core language and shift more complexity into standard libraries, paving the way for a leaner and more formally defined language. GMX, the second largest protocol on Arbitrum 1 by TVL, suffered a $40 million exploit on its V1 instance. An attacker manipulated leverage-enabled functionality by opening a large short position just before redeeming the protocol's LP tokens. The exploit artificially inflated the vault's asset under management, allowing the attacker to redeem more funds than the GLP was worth. The root vulnerability of the attack was that the execute decrease order function accepted a smart contract as its first parameter, instead of restricting it to an externally owned account, which enabled the attacker to execute arbitrary code and manipulate the vault's internal state. GMX v1 forks are urged to disable leverage and restrict GLP minting. The market capitalization of tokenized real-world assets has surpassed $25 billion. Over 58% of tokenized real-world assets reside on Ethereum mainnet, while ZK Sync has emerged as the second largest network by RWA TVL, securing more than $2.2 billion in real-world assets. BlackRock's Build Fund is the largest tokenized real-world asset with over $2.8 billion in TVL. According to data from RWA.xyz, the ecosystem includes 288,000 asset holders and 249 asset issuers. Meanwhile, stablecoin demand continues to surge, with the supply of stablecoins on Ethereum mainnet reaching an all-time high of $131 billion in stablecoin market cap. And lastly, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce issued a statement on the tokenization of securities, noting that while tokenized securities can enhance capital formation and asset use as collateral, they are still subject to federal securities laws. Pierce emphasized that tokenized instruments must meet the same legal requirements as traditional securities, and tokens could be classified either as distinct securities or as securities-based swaps. Her statement follows Robinhood's launch of token stocks, which are not yet available to US users. In other news, Fidelity publishes its report on Ethereum, and Electric Capital shares its ETH thesis. This has been a roundup of today's top news stories in Ethereum. You can support this podcast by subscribing and following us at ETH Daily. Also subscribe to our newsletter at ethdaily.io.